Hi friends, and welcome back to the cafe. I hope you guys are doing really well. So I've been having a lot of wanderlust lately, and I've been having the itch to go travel. So today I thought I would do the Wanderlust Tag because it seemed fitting. And also, before I start the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I have an announcement that I will be making at the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned till the end so you can find out what that is. So the first question on the Wanderlust Tag is, where are you from? And I am from the beautiful country of Canada. I have lived here all of my life, and I enjoy it a lot for the most part, except for the cold winters. They are not my friend. The second question is, have you ever been overseas? When and where? So I've been overseas twice. Once in grade 11, I did a French exchange for 2 weeks where they came here in October, and then we went there in March. And the second time was over to France again when my best friend was in third year. She did an exchange to Grenoble, France, so I went to visit her there. And I also, when I went to France that time, went to Switzerland and had a layover in London. So I don't really know if that counts, but I like to say that I've been to London because I was there for 4 hours. The third question is, do you prefer summer or winter, and why? For me personally, I prefer summer. I love the warmer weather and having to just go outside in shorts and t-shirts. And it's easier for me to get around because in the winter I used a motorized scooter to get around because it's so slippery with the ice and the snow. It's hard for me to walk around, so I use a motorized scooter, but even that sometimes can be difficult to use in the winter because here in Canada we get a ton of snow, so I definitely prefer summer. The fourth question is, do you prefer summer or winter fashion? And surprisingly, I would say that I prefer winter fashion over summer fashion, although I prefer summer over winter. The reason being, number one, I have a ridiculously large scarf collection, like over 25 scarves, and I absolutely love wearing them, except it's harder to wear them in the summer because it's so hot. I have a couple lightweight ones that I can wear, but for the most part, you look kind of silly and you get overheated if you wear them in the summer. And also, I very much like big sweaters and layers, so I would have to say winter. Number 5 is, where is somewhere that you would love to travel to? And my answer for this hasn't changed for a while now because I haven't been here yet, but I would absolutely love to go to Greece. I don't think it's the most accessible country, and I'm not exactly sure how I would get around, but it looks absolutely breathtaking, and I would love to go there. I also really love Greek food, so why not go try it where it is originally from? The next question is, name your essential makeup for the beach. To be honest with you, I don't really see the point in wearing makeup to the beach because you're just going to go swimming and wash it all off, but I do see the point in sunscreen. I burn really easily, especially my nose and my shoulders, so wearing sunscreen is essential for me. This is the one I wear on my body, and it is the Hawaiian Tropic Silk Hydration Lotion. Woo! In 30. I wear the Tarte Guard in 30 on my face. The next question is, are you currently saving for a trip? I am not currently saving for a trip, however, I would also say that I'm always saving for a trip because who doesn't like to go traveling? So, not like specifically, but yes, always. Do you like or dislike traveling? Well, I don't think I'd be making the Wanderlust Tag if I didn't like to travel. Name a place in the world that you would love to shop. My number 1 would be the Champs-Élysées in Paris. I've been on the Champs-Élysées, but I've obviously never bought anything there because, man, that's expensive. But I would love to shop on the Champs-Élysées, as well as I would love to shop in London. I just really enjoy the fashion there, and so I would love to shop there. The next question is, name your top 3 essentials that you put in your carry-on. So for me, my top 3 things are headphones. These ones are Friends Layla headphones, but I also like to bring the ones that you can stick in your ears, so you have both, so that when your ears get tired of having one of them on, you can put the other type on. My second thing you have to usually get after you go through security, and I usually have a physical water bottle with me, but a bottle of water is an essential, and some snacks, because you want to make sure that you stay hydrated during your flight. And finally, my last essential is a scarf. I don't know if you could have guessed that from my earlier mention of my giant scarf collection, but this one is called a blanket scarf, and it gets really giant, so you can also, wrap it around yourself if it gets cold on the plane. I find that temperatures vary from place to place that you're traveling as well as on the plane, so I always like to have a scarf with me to wrap me up if I get chilly. The next question is, what is your favorite accent to hear? And mine would definitely have to be English, like London, the UK, and French. How many countries have you visited? I have traveled around my country. I have traveled to the States. I have traveled to France, and I have traveled to Switzerland, as well as my layover in the UK. So that would be 5 countries, but I like to say 6 because when we were in Switzerland, we went to the United Nations, which I'm pretty sure is considered a country in itself. Why do you travel is my next question, and my answer to that is because I like to see new places. I like to experience new culture, meet new people, eat new food, all of it. It's just very exciting, and it kind of renews your spirit. So that's why I like to travel. Favorite city or country? Well, that I've been to, I would have to say Paris. I am a little bit obsessed with Paris. I have a lot of Eiffel Towers in my room and in my collection. I had someone count once, and they counted over 20 Eiffel Towers in my room. I just really enjoy Paris. I always have. It has a special place in my heart. Most memorable experience abroad. So when I was visiting my best friend Christina in France, we went to Switzerland for the weekend and we couch surfed. And so we stayed with a lady who was in her early 20s when we went there for the weekend. And on our second night there, we took her out for dinner as a thank you for letting us stay at her house. And number one, the dinner we had that night, I don't understand how bread and melted cheese can be so delicious, but we had cheese fondue and it was literally the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life, and I want to go back to Switzerland just to eat more of that. But when we were done the dinner, it was on like this mountain area, and so then Maritza said, come with me, I want to show you something. And she took us up into these apartment buildings, and she had a key to this like door that was in between 2 sets of apartment buildings. And so we went through this door, and it was the coolest courtyard, like indoor courtyard thing that I've ever seen. It had like park benches and flowers, and then people's apartments faced inward towards this little courtyard, so you could look out your window and see this really cool courtyard between 2 buildings, and you could only get in there if you had the key to it. And she said she had taken an architecture class and they had given them keys to this private area, so it wouldn't have been something we would have seen otherwise, and it was just really cool. It was really magical, and it kind of felt like something out of a film, so I really enjoyed that. The next question is best item that you've ever purchased on your travels. And for me, to be honest, it's more about the experiences. I like buying things to bring back for people, and I bought this purple and leather backpack in France the time that I went to visit Christina, and that was a great purchase because I still use it to this day. But my favorite little trinkets to buy, other than postcards, are these little coins. You can get them at different touristy areas. I know in France, I'm not sure if other countries have them, I hope so. These remind me of when I went to Disneyland when I was younger with my family, and they had like those coin pressing machines, and you put in money and then you could pick like Mickey Mouse, and then they'd put a Mickey Mouse figure on the coins. But these ones are from different places around where you travel. This is from the Citadel, this one. And then this, we went to Strasbourg when I went with my school, and that one's from Strasbourg. So they have them at a bunch of different touristy areas, and I have a bunch more. I actually forgot to get one at the Eiffel Tower when I went the first time with my school, so when I went back with Christina, I got to get one from the Eiffel Tower, and that was pretty awesome. But I like little things like that that just bring back memories, but are just little trinkets. Advice for people who want to travel but think they can't. I would advise you to just do it. I know that's kind of silly, but if you want to travel, save up and try and do that. You know, there's lots of discount websites and things like that, so do your research beforehand and you'll hopefully be able to find something within your price range that you can do. And if you need to, start small, like traveling to the next city beside you or the next province or wherever you live, whatever's close around you, and then work your way into bigger travels, and then hopefully you'll be able to do so. The next question is a travel accessory that you always pack, and I would say converters for the outlets, so that if you're in a different country that has a different type of outlet, you can still use things that need to plug into outlets. The next question is, do you have your passport number memorized? No, I don't. I have no idea what it is. The next question is preferred method of travel, plane, train, or automobile. I don't like cars because I've recently started to get car sick easily, so that's not fun for me. I really enjoy trains. I had only been on a train when I went to visit Christina. That was my first time ever on a train. They're so cool and you get to see a lot of the countryside. So I would say that I really enjoy trains, but I also really enjoy planes, which is funny. Most of my family doesn't enjoy flying, but I really enjoy flying a lot, and I find something really romantic and just really interesting about airports and flying in general. If I could, I would definitely be a flight attendant. I think that would be such a cool job, and I really enjoy flying. I'm really sorry for the noise, guys, if you can hear that in the background. I think my neighbor is like lawn mowing or leaf blowing or something. The next question is your top 3 travel accessories that you bring with you. My camera so that I can capture the moments, money or a way to pay for things, and extra running shoes because of my cerebral palsy and the way that I walk, my one foot drags and eventually it makes holes in my shoes. So I find when I travel that happens quite frequently, so an extra pair of running shoes is usually a good idea. The next question is hostel or hotel. This honestly depends. At first I was completely against hostels, and then when I went to visit Christina again, we stayed in some, and they're pretty cool because you got to meet a lot of people from around the world, and that was really neat. But I also say that I like hotels because I like the luxury of staying in hotels, and if it is just me, I would rather stay in a hotel than stay in a hostel, but if I'm with other people, I'm up for either or. And it also depends where in the world you are as well. Are you a repeat visitor or do you explore new places? Both. Like I said, I love Paris. I've been twice and I would keep going back every year if I could. But I also really like to enjoy new places and explore, so I would say that I am a bit of both. The next question is, do you read up and do your research on the place that you're going to beforehand, or do you just kind of wing it? I would say that I read up to know like directions to places and like research cool places to go or places that people recommend, but I also like to wing it when I'm there and just say, what do I want to do today? What do I want to experience today? So a little bit of both. Favorite travel websites? I like the websites where you can compare flight prices all on one website, where you can compare hotel and hostel prices all on one website. There's a website called Hostel World. I'll link it down below, and it's pretty cool for you to figure out a hostel to stay at in wherever you are in the world, as well as I really like couchsurfing. You need to do your research and be careful when you're on couchsurfing, but if you talk to people that have used it before and do your research, it's a really cool way to meet people who are native to the country that you're visiting. Where would you recommend someone to visit and why? I really like France, like I said. Also, I haven't been to that many places. I surprisingly wouldn't say Paris as my top choice. I love it, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for everybody else. I would say Switzerland. Switzerland is very expensive, but it is absolutely stunning. It's so gorgeous. The people there are really friendly, and I just had a really great experience there. If you can, go visit Switzerland. It's absolutely beautiful. The next question is, you're leaving tomorrow and money is no option. Where would you go? Like I said before, I really want to go to Greece, but let's be honest, if money was no option, I would buy a round-the-world ticket and just keep flying and traveling to new places until I couldn't do it any longer. The next question is your favorite landmark that you have visited. And I would say that I have two. There's one is the fountain in Switzerland. It was really cool. I will insert some pictures if I can find some. It was breathtaking. So that would be my number one. It was in Geneva, Switzerland. And also I would obviously say the Eiffel Tower. Like I said, I love Paris, and the Eiffel Tower is just like my thing, you know? So I would say the fountain and the Eiffel Tower. The next question is beach or travel and explore holiday. I would definitely have to say travel and explore holiday. We have beaches here, so if I want to go to the beach, I can go to the beach in my own hometown. I want to travel and explore if I'm in a new place. Next question is, to travel is to? I would say to travel is to exercise the soul. I honestly believe that traveling is so good for your soul. It kind of renews my spirit every time I do it. recently I've been doing it every 4 years, and I find once I get to that 4-year mark, I really have the itch to travel again and feel like that's something that I need to do. So speaking of the 4-year mark, I visited my friend Christina in France 4 years ago, and I am very lucky to say that I will be traveling again very soon. My announcement for you guys is that I will be traveling to California, not next week, but the week after that. And if you know of VidCon, that will be happening during the time that I am in California. So I will be going to VidCon this year, and I am super excited. If you are going to VidCon yourself, let me know so that we can maybe meet up and say hello. Or if you have any recommendations because you're from the California area, please let me know where I should visit, what I should check out. Also, if you guys have any travel stories, I would love to hear them down below, because when you have Wanderlust, what's a better way to get over it if you can't travel than to vicariously travel through someone else and through someone else's stories. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, there is a little red subscribe button down there, I believe, not up there like I've been saying before, where you can click. And then you will know when I'm back in the cafe, and I try to make new videos every Wednesday, so hopefully I will see you back here next Wednesday. Bye guys!